What up? What up? What up? Welcome to another episode of 94 Feet with Coach JT. Do me a favor, leave a like in the comment section, hit that subscribe button on the pod, and hit the online store, man. 94FeetWithCoachJT.com. We got dope merch up there for you. Summer line going, everything cracking right now. We good. Let me jump to this intro, man. Let me make it real plain and simple. I say that he's the two-time Coach of the Year. Sure, this past year Coach of the Year. Two-time Metro League champ. Last year, co-champ. This year, outright by himself. Champion. Also, man, I would say the Sacramento area location, wherever sections, top school, pretty much 2 years in a row. The record is crazy. This year, his team, along with himself, have created just a crazy culture over there at Monterey Trail, man. A good friend of mine, but martial art friend, just family man. Person I've known pretty much all my life, man. We've just been around each other all our lives, families growing up together. But also outside of a coach, man, a dope person, off the court, in life, dope person to compete against. We had a chance to play each other in JUCO one time. Like, it's my brother, man, my coaching brother, my brother in life, Coach Fields, the head coach of Monterey Trail. What's up,
man?
Rob?
That's all love, man. That's all love. I appreciate you, man. And I know you was in league with us, so this is love, man. We got good times, good battles in the Metro, man. I know they're switching it up next year, but
I mean, damn, just that fast. That was our last time as far as the league setting, but now we got to get them off. We just got to set them up now on our own. But it is true, man. Last time the Metro, and I think let's just get on that right now while it's present. We'll go back in a minute. We'll take it back, but that's still fresh, man. That's a new thing. I mean, just kind of getting through that, turning that page, man. But just overall, not even this year, man. Just to talk about, I want to talk about the culture of not even that. Let's go this MT job opening up. Let's talk about that situation, bro.
Man,
that was crazy, bro. Like, it's the world is small anyway, but same people in the same boat, right? Like-minded people. But at the time, you weren't in Sacramento at the time, right? You were located.
No. I was living in San Diego, and I was coaching out there. I just had an actually pretty successful season out there. And then, life's kind of happening, and we're getting ready to make the transition back to Sacramento. Mm-hmm. And my big brother, who's still on staff right now, so shout out to my big bro. It was like, MT's a sleeping giant. I'm all like, I don't even know what he is. I don't know nothing about it. Obviously we got powerhouses in the area and things like that. So he told me MT was kind of where it's at. So I applied there. I applied at my alma mater, which was Rio Linda. So I applied at both of those schools, interviewed for both, and was fortunate that MT offered me the position, man. So just kind of took it. I remember driving down in the U-Haul, man, going to coach in the Florence Summer League, and the U-Haul was parked in the parking lot. So I'm still like unloading, meeting kids, and doing all this stuff. So it was good times.
So at that same time, I interviewed for the job. Made it to the second interview, and they was like, this dude named Fields is out here interviewing too for you. I was like, Fields? I don't know, but that side of the family, I know one's Field family. And I'm like, Rob? I'm like, oh, boy, come back to Sacramento. And I'm like, again, and this goes too much. Again, our relationship won, but our family's been locked in. Yeah. And it's like, man, at the time, it's like, okay, if I'm going to lose this much to anybody. Yeah. I went to the first one. They said, Jay, you got to come back. I was like, okay, because I had been at Kennedy. We faced, man, Freddie over there. And I was like, they got a couple kids. They got the new area a little bit over there, newer school somewhere. Yeah. I be popping. And I'm like, come back. It's like, this Coach Fields over there, Jay. We hearing you and him got another interview. And I'm like, oh, either way it go. I'm like, well, if Rob is the one, Rob is the one.
Hey, man, I've been like, I don't know if you remember, man. I called you. Was like, yo, come join on staff, man.
Hey,
immediately. I was brand new to it. And I was like, well,
like-minded, bro. But I think you also had experience, though. You did have experience, though. You have been coaching. That title means a lot. And some coaches, Rob, don't know, or who are trying to apply for head coaching jobs, even if it don't go well, to have that title on your resume, because you learn so much, bro. Yeah. I mean, I think that was going into the summer of 2018 or 17 summer, going to 18-19 season, right there, I believe. Or
no, this was 14-15 when I came out here.
Yes.
It's going to be almost 10 years now.
Yeah, man. 2014. Yeah, I spent 2 more years back at the K. But yes, at that time, they was like, your boy Rob. And I was like, you know what? I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that because, again, the foundation is laid. But then we talked, you call, right? But then we talked too, like, hey, this is what it is. This is what I'm doing. But it was like, shit, okay, if anybody my dog got it, hey, it's good, bro. But just initially, bro, that transition, one, coming back home though, was that I know it's back home for you, but also you left where you established yourself too though. But what was the biggest kind of, was there any question marks at that time during the transition? Even though it's at home, you got support here. It's still not easy making a transition like that, bro.
Family made it easy to come back home, kind of a soft landing spot, so to speak. But as far as like the basketball landscape, I had no idea, right? I'm in a whole different section when I'm in San Diego. I'm not paying really much any attention to what's going on up here. Occasionally I will come up for the section title game or state title game, stuff like that. But, I wasn't really locked into the who's who and what's what. That's why I said when they even said the name Monterey Trail, I was like, I don't even know where that's at.
Right.
I following my GPS the first time coming back here, like, and even now, the way the GPS takes you all the way around, I'm like, but yeah. So that was a little bit tough, just navigating the landscape of what it was like and getting to know a brand new community, these kids in that community, the parents. What goes well, what doesn't go well, how much you can push them, different things like that. So that was all kind of the big adjustment. But like the life aspect of it, I was blessed. That was when I was going to have my firstborn son. So we were coming here to be with family, and that all, that all worked out perfectly.
So, bro, you've been at Monterey Trail 10 years.
It'll be 10. It'll be 10 coming up soon, man.
Even better. Now, that grind, that time frame. New coaches starting out.
Yeah.
What would you? Because you're a vet now. You're a vet.
Yeah.
You've been at one school 10 years, bro. That's longevity. That's also, again, shout out to the support factors or people around you support, because that, as we know, you're an at-will employee.
Yeah.
You're at unless you work on campuses. You're an at-will employee. You can be let go at any time. That's shout out to your support, your team, your support team, all that stuff, your admin. But for any new coaches starting out, man, what advice would you give them and that's 10 years ago, Rob. You've been in 10 years, things still change though. But somebody who get a job now, like I think the homeboy Torian Moore just got El Camino job. Like it's some guys that they're getting new head coaching jobs. What would you give a rookie coach in their first head varsity coaching job advice?
Man, do your best to keep the main thing the main thing. If your passion and your love is hoop, you can't get distracted by the other stuff. There's no sense in fighting, what some may call like admin wars and this and that, or battling other coaches and other programs. You really keep the main thing. And I'm just going to put my head down and grind and go to work. And I'm going to go to work with the guys that walk through that gym door. So being able to do that, man, is probably the best thing I would tell any brand new coach. Like the other stuff will fall into place. You'll learn it as you go. I'm blessed to have a great athletic director that supports me and what we're trying to do. So hopefully whatever situation I just hit Timo up the other day, man.
Yeah, me too.
So that's big time.
Yeah.
Mackenzie took over last year at Natomas and the first year guy. That's what it's about, man. Just go to work, man. Head down, go to work.
He clipped me by 2 points. Shit, it hurt me.
Yeah.
2 points, damn it. You got me, damn. But they balling, man. He did a great job with that group over there, man. Definitely, bro. A great group. How hard is it to find good coaches?
Oh man, it's a rare breed, man. Real talk. You got to have some coaches that are young enough and passionate enough that want to be around the game, but that are also just dedicated, right? I mean, when I was starting out, I know everybody isn't like us or like you, and everybody got their own different, philosophies and stuff. But when I was starting out, and I was at Lincoln in San Diego, man, I was the freshman and JV coach, but I'm at varsity practice. I'm there, all day long because I'm trying to soak it all up. And when you come across somebody like that has a passion for it, that wants to be around, I think that's kind of the makings of a really great young coach. Obviously, knowing the game, X and O's, relationships, that all goes a long way. But just somebody that's super dependable, man. I think that's what is the hardest thing to find with some of the younger coaches. We've been blessed though. We've had a few lower level coaches come through. Some great, some not so great, but they've all done a good job for us in the long run, 100%.
That's what's up, man. Definitely adds value to the program and what you're
Yeah.
doing. Man, let's just talk about the last. I mean, I know this year too, but the last two out of the 10 years had gotten better every year. But started from ground zero, like
Yeah.
literally started from ground zero. But now on the other side, people don't remember that or see that outside of us. But the last 2 years, bro, to put together these type of runs with the caliber players you have, how much to go through the grind, the struggles, whatever. But now to be able to coach basketball a little more or do other things, but also win at a high level. Just for you personally, in general, because we know as coaches, right? We work hard for other kids, but then their players, their parents, all that. But for you, because we got to take care of ourselves, we got to give ourselves a little pat on the back, bro. For you though, to make this run and do it the right way the last 2 years, how comfortable, what type of feeling is that for you personally, though, man? Because I know how much you study, how much you watch. We talk all the time,
Yeah.
no matter what it's about different things, how much time it is, what's on our minds, the stressfulness stuff too. But just how rewarding was it for you personally, though, bro? This last 2 years.
Man, it's been a pure joy to be 100% honest with you. We're fortunate enough. The last 2 years, we had two guys sign athletic scholarships and playing college basketball for free. The following year with Varick and BG. So when you have some guys with that level of talent, that not only one in this day and age decide to come to your school, but then decide to stay and be loyal to what you're doing and how you're running the program. I think that's great, and it's not just those two. We've had the last couple of years we've had a tremendous amount of guys. Yeah, we've had tremendous amount of guys that has come through the program. But they've all been committed to winning and that being the singular goal. We preach it, and I say we. I'm talking about our staff. I have two amazing young assistants right now who absolutely kill it for us. But we preach it daily. It's about we over me mentality, and it's about winning and doing everything you can to win. And it might be scoring one game, and it might be getting a defensive stop the next game, but you do everything in your power to win a ball game. And we've had some great guys that have bought into that, and then it's just kind of now trickled down to 1 through 12 or 14, however many we have.
Yeah.
Everybody is like, nah, we just want to win. We just want to win. And it's in this day and age, it's a little bit hard, right? Because everybody thinks the way, not everybody, but a lot of people think the way for a college scholarship is getting a bucket. Yes, you do got to be able to do that. But there's so many other intangibles that you have to do. And that's kind of what we're telling these guys. Like, the guys you watch on TV, they got some God-given talent, and you have to work and continue to get better, continue to put the work in. And a lot of our guys are doing that. That's what I was telling you. We got guys that are hitting my phone. Hey, coach, 7 a.m. Can we get in the gym? And I love it. And I've told them, I said, you guys get me up any time. I don't do much. Like you said, we're on the phone. I'm watching game film. I'm breaking down stuff. But if somebody wants to get in the gym, man, I'm like, all right, babe, I'll be back. I'm going to open the gym up.
Yeah.
So it's always a fun time. And it's just the culture of just work has just been really established where guys are putting in work. And then you get that on top of some ultra talented kids. I think that leads to the success the last few years that we've had.
Sure, man. And I'm not definitely. I'm going to give them two young fellas their flowers too, man. I believe they were both Player of the Year back to back.
They were. Yeah.
Varick and BG, yeah. So I mean, there were some high caliber dudes, but the way they play again, they just and just they're good kids off the court. Yeah. And a lot of people say that too, Coach. I talk to all the kids, man. I don't care if they give my team buckets. I try to stop them as best as I can, but I respect their game and their approach. There's always a battle, but yeah, man. Shout out to those two gentlemen too, and the best of luck to them going forward, man. Because it's not easy. What I mean? A lot comes with that, but also, what I mean? He's trying to do things the right way, man. With everybody in the outside stuff come around that, man. Also, talk about the relationship coaching with your brother, though, man. How's that, bro? Like, I mean, big bro's there. How is sitting there with your bro, man, by your side, rocking for these?
Man,
that's got to be a dope.
He's probably a little more fiery than I am, man.
Yeah.
And blessings to him. He, this year, he's kind of been out there a little, but he had heart surgery. He was down for a little bit, but it's always good having that guy there, and having the blood brother there, and even the other guys there that I talk about. They're just like brothers to me. We're talking to those guys every single day about hoop, about our kids, everything that's going on. But it's a blessing that I can always look to my left or right. My brother is there. We're gonna talk about the game, talk about these kids, how to uplift them, what we got to do in the community, different things like that. So it's been a joy, man. And like I said, he gets fired up. I think he might have passed me in text these the last 2 years or so. But I think he's calming and maturing, just how we all are as we get a little older on these refs and everybody like that. But we're intense. We love the game, and it's fun.
That's what's up, man. Definitely dope to see. And it's always, like I said, it's just different. Yeah, and we always say to the all right, get that win, just not tonight.
Yeah.
Every other game, I want y'all both to win, just not tonight against me. That's always love, always a good thing that makes it for definitely healthy competition. But again, that support factor, bro. People, again, you have to really support other people. If you rock somebody, it's genuine, which is always dope. Like I said, we just tap in, we always checking, following each other's teams and everything like that, man. It's dope to see the bros doing well.
Yeah.
Let's take it back though now, man. Let's drop back, man. Let's go back, man. Let's just talk about young Rob, man. Like basketball in general. Has it always been a thing for you as far as, what I'm saying? Just again, we California side kids, whatever like that, California kids growing up. But what were the sports that you was into, man, as a youngster?
Man, I didn't play football because I didn't want to get hit. So I was that. And then I did a little bit of T-ball, airport, little league,
Southside.
I think everybody that went through airport, little league. So I did a little bit of that. And that was back in the days. I thought I was like Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt. Bigger than everybody. Let me play first base, all of that. But that obviously that didn't really work out. And then, went to school at Rio Linda. Had a good time there, man. But basketball's always been, I've enjoyed it. I'm listening to coaches talk and direct, and I'm seeing the game in different ways like that. But I've always enjoyed it. And the one thing that I thought that was maybe missing a little bit was just continue to show how hard it was to be successful in the game of basketball. It's not going to come because we practice 2 hours a day. Like, no, you got to put in a lot of work. And it was a lesson I learned, when going to college. It was newer to me. I wasn't big on the AAU scene. I didn't do a lot of AAU stuff, and go to college, and I'm like, oh no, we got some real boys around here, and everybody can hoop, and everybody puts in extra work, and so that's kind of what then transitioned me into coaching. It was like I want to make sure kids really know and understand what level it takes of dedication and work to get somewhere and achieve your dreams. So I know that was kind of long-winded, but man, it was never no other sport, man. It was always
who was I was around. Now playoffs going on, NBA. We was NBA junkies, had to watch on TV and click the dial and turn it on and watch it, bro.
Yeah.
Who are some of the people you would say you mimic your game after, bro, or really kept you in front of the TV watching them at that time?
Man, I loved KG, man. I thought he had a crazy, his crazy passion.
Motor different.
Yeah, motor is way different. So he was one of my favorite players. Obviously, late great Kobe. He by far one of my favorite players. But I always I used to want to be on the blocks or at the elbows like KG and turn and face and doing all that face up game. So I always thought my face up game was dope. So I liked a little bit of KG. Obviously KD, but so many great players, man, that, these guys watching. I wish I watched college more then. I didn't really watch a lot of college then. So I wish I watched more college hoop then to really know and understand the skill that a lot of these guys possess.
Yeah. What would you say, bro, would be the biggest transition you had to adjust from high school to college? What did you have to say? As they say, like we say, add to your bag, whatever. What did you have to say?
Man, I think it's the speed and the strength. It's the speed and strength. Everybody's a little bit faster and everybody's a little bit stronger. You're in the weight room at 6:30 in the morning trying to be just as strong and doing all your conditioning stuff. So the biggest adjustment, like I said, for me was the work that went into. We didn't lift weights in high school. barely conditioned. It was, get up and down, and that was it. So it was new for me in college that, all right, we're running these hills, we doing this, we doing that. So I think that's always the biggest transition, and that's what now we got the tools for these young men that, hey, we're doing this in high school, right? We in the weight room. So when you guys get to the big show, you not gonna be out here like, what's happening? I'm not used to this. That's what I really tell our kids. I want you better for your next coach. So I don't care what level that is. I hope you get to keep on playing, but ultimately I want you better for your next coach, and we'll get you better for your next coach by the work you put in and your dedication to that work.
Yeah, for sure. At what point in college, bro? Or give me one. We see the highlights, of course, right? But let me know about a time where you really felt like, oh, I need to either get this together, or I need to make it. Was there a time where you said, I'm either going to get it together and stick this out, or I'm going to just have to shift something different? Did you ever get that adversity point somewhere in college or on the court, or injury, anything that was like, man, is this for me? Am I going to keep doing
man,
it?
It was my second year of college, man. We brought in he ended up being an All-American Aussie, and he was hitting us with the pump fakes in practice and games, and I'm like, man, this is some unbelievable footwork and skill. I thought I would have some KG from the elbow work, but no, this is different. And shout out to David Moore. I mean, he's Moorsey, we called him. He's a legend at Dominican, and that's when I knew he came in. We had a big post player that came in from Nevada. I mean, just all muscle, right? So I was a little bit much thinner than I am now, so I was a little bit tweener, right? And so just coming in and getting beaten up by those guys, I was like, oh yeah, this might not be it, and I was okay with that. I wasn't delusional about where I was able to achieve my goals. And I immediately, obviously still having a great connection with those guys. I immediately start pivoting, trying to do some other things in the athletic realm, and utilize my time in other ways. But it was definitely that sophomore year of college, man, where it was just like, oh no, this is real competitive, and they got some real dudes that are playing to keep playing. They want to play professionally, and they're not, here just happy that they made it to college.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Give me a highlight though. Give me a big highlight, something that you take away from that experience.
Oh man, I mean, like I said, it's kind of how I base a lot of my teaching and foundation of how I interact with kids now. So I take it just as a life lesson. That's the highlight, man. That somebody is outworking you, somebody is lifting, somebody is shooting, somebody's putting in some work, and it's not cliche or hyperbole just to say that. Like, it really happens, and it can come smack you in your face, and that's what it did. And if you don't know how to react to that or pivot to other things, you can be devastated by it. And fortunately, I wasn't. I still had a great support system. Like I said, I knew coaching staff, everybody was good, and me saying I want to go a different direction, it wasn't frowned upon or anything. They understood. It was what it was. But that was the biggest lesson out of it, man. Just being able to really now use as a foundation to tell kids that you're going to meet this point, and are you going to rely on the work that you've already put in, or are you going to go do something else? That was the main point, man, that I think was the highlight from that, is just lay the whole foundation of the teachings for these young kids.
That's what's up. Before we talk about the get to the coaching part, though, how important is family to you, man? How important is that circle, that last name, bro? That lineage y'all got going, man.
Man, the legacy, man, from the Millers to the Fields,
Crazy.
To I don't know if cornerstone is the right word of not only Sacramento, but just the African American Christian home base that was established, man, for me and all of my aunts and uncles, man. My grandma on my mom's side had 10 kids, huge family. My parents and grandparents on the other side, man. So family is huge. Like I said, that's why Sacramento was such a good landing space after I left San Diego to come back home. I knew I was going to have the constant support. Our family is incredible, man. anybody needs something in family or out of family, they're going to help you out, do whatever they can. They're involved in so many amazing things. Still,
And he's not just saying this, people. He's me. I know this for
nah,
like the city knows
yeah,
this.
man,
People
they
know it
are,
like that. And they
yeah.
do that for sure, man. Good.
It's
People,
funny
bro.
because we can go anywhere, man, and around Sacramento, you a Miller, you a this, you a this, and they know, and you look like you can too. So we get that a lot, man. But family is huge, man. You know, 4 kids of my own, man. So just having a little tribe and trying to raise them and do right by them as well, man. So it's the foundation for the family has been there, man. Like I said, we got two amazing cornerstones that were able to pour into us as young kids. And I say us, you know, everybody, my cousins, we're deep, man. It's
Yeah,
deep
for sure.
there.
Yeah, yes, sir. At what point do you transition? Because all through playing, I was similar, man. I'm learning. We're playing, but I'm really student of the game too. I'm the other coach on the court. I'm watching. But at what point do you feel or say, now I'm going to shift? I want to be the coach. I want to start coaching. Say you start coaching freshmen stuff. But what was the deciding factor on that, or what kind of got you into that switch realms?
Man, I think it was 2009, maybe 9 or 10. Maybe I think it was maybe early 2010. Man, I was working, you know, corporate America. I know some people shun it. I do it. It is what it is. But I was working, and one of the guys I was working with, he was coaching baseball, and they asked him to coach basketball, and he was like, "I really don't know nothing. I know you played. Do you want to come help us coach?" And JT, man, I got out there and it was just like, oh no, this is it. Like, I love this. Like this, I catch a bus to go do this. You know, I'm riding the bus. I got my daughter at the time is in a stroller. We riding the bus with a stroller. Like, let's go to practice outside at a park with these high school kids. Like, we're getting after it and starting to figure it out. And that's kind of how it started, man. And then the passion from it just grew because, you know, you see a kid that develop skill wise, but they also start to develop as young men, and you're able to kind of pour into them directly, and obviously with the parents and the family buy-in and everything. But that's kind of when it started, man. Is you know, we were in the office and he's like, man, I got practice tomorrow. I don't know what to do. They just gave me the job. Like, all right, I'll come help you out. You know, I remember a few drills and things, and then it got to, you know, I'm project manager by, you know, trade. So then it got to really dissecting and breaking down a practice plan and doing this, and that stuff started to have a lot of fun. And I'm like, oh no, I have more joy doing this than anything else. So, you know, I started seeing the time shift of, okay, how long does it take me to do a practice plan? I'm over here doing this instead of doing that. And it just became like, okay, nah, this is what I want to do. And so I helped out, you know, on the freshman JV level, and then was fortunate enough to kind of move on up and went to coach at Lincoln High School, and then got a head job at Patrick Henry down there in San Diego. And it just, like I said, it's just been a springboard ever since.
That's what's up, man. Who are some of the coaches that you kind of refer to or look after? Kind of, you know what I mean? So much, especially we're in that era with a lot of good coaches coming up.
Man, a lot of good coaches.
In person or on TV. Who was kind of the ones you on the radar or you was tapped in with?
I mean, when I was in college, I played for Bill Tressler, great coach. I think he coached at SF State for a while. Then Brett Tavani was there, wrote books on defense, so kind of really laid the foundation of how you're supposed to play some defense with him. Then when I was down in San Diego, obviously Jason Bryant won the state title. Really taught me how to manage a little bit more. Like, you know, by that time we got the X's and O's down a little bit. By that time, it was how to manage kids, how to build relationships with kids, and seeing it from kind of a OG perspective. You know, we taking trips, and you know, we go to Hawaii or Missouri with these kids, and how is he running this program? How is he doing that? And really learning and taking away from that, because, you know, like I said, I was around him, you know, all the time. I'm like, oh, if you in the gym, I'm in the gym. You know, I don't care if it's the freshman practice or the varsity practice. I'm trying to get in here, and I'm trying to learn and go from there. So Jason Bryant was huge for that. Marlon Christensen, who I still talk to this day, and I still talk to Jason too, but Marlon, he still comes up and watches some of my games. He actually was the first one to hire me on. This was before Lincoln, so he was that first one to really hire me on. Talked to him a lot. He dealt with star power kids as well. So that's kind of where the transition goes for me now is, when I'm calling the line of some of these mentors, it's okay, the relationship game, what are you guys doing? How did you handle this situation or that situation? Marlon was huge my first year with Varick. I know we'll get into it, but he was a dynamic freshman. I never had that situation where, okay, you got a freshman that's going to come in and is your best player, and how does that mesh with the established guys? And so best ways to handle that. So Marlon was huge with that. Even now, my boy Cam Quick, I hit him up a lot. He was in a state title game, maybe 2-3, a little bit longer now with Alameda High School. I call him, talk to him a lot. So there's a lot of guys that you hit on for different points about different things. But lately it's been just about, new unique situations. How are we handling, some star power talent? I don't like to say kids with egos, but how are you managing egos and different things like that, man? Which makes it a lot easier to do as a coach now when you got that background and that base.
That's what's up. Good to have something or somebody to talk to or give information.
Yeah, man.
It's ever changing, boy. The youth are ever changing in their environments around them. So we got
non-stop for sure.
You kind of tapped on it a little bit too. Just how has it been though? The last 2 years, and we had Varick and BG. Really, BG kind of got hurt so early on because it could have been really two potential for two kids for at least 3 of those 4 years at the same time. But just how was that? Just maneuvering through that space, man. Like I said, keeping the main thing, but also learning, being successful, taking some knocks on their head. But also at the end, the goal is, I believe it's the same goal, is to get your student athlete to college. Yeah. And if they want to play a sport, that's another blessing too. But to get there is one, but then also it's the 1%, as we know, right? Man. Everybody can't get there. And I think that's one thing I try to tell a lot of these kids all the time is, boy, them numbers is low. But it can be done, but you got to be different some kind of way.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, this is going on year 10, and Varick was my first Division I player that I, coached. Obviously in San Diego, I've had some guys that they played Division I football or other levels of basketball, but someone that I have from freshman to senior year that went on to play. So it was brand new, and the adjustment, which was always forever talking to college coaches and what do we have to see? What would you like to see? And then trying to adjust and cater and move that way. Now Varick had a great trainers around him and guys that pushed him. So I didn't have to do a whole lot. I had to not get in the way, make sure we put the ball in his hands, draw some different things up, use him in different ways. But it forced me to be even more of a student of the game. Then that's when I started watching a lot more college. I mean, I was watching already, but got into a deeper dive into it, breaking down some college film and, okay, let me see similar guys and how they use them and how they do stuff, because if we want our kid to play at that next level, we want to try to, hey, yeah, you got to get in these situations. You got to move like these dudes move, and we were trying to do that, and I think we found some success in doing that, obviously, and he was fortunate to be awarded the scholarship to Long Beach State, and and then for BG, man, he's such a worker, man. Blew his knee out. I still remember being in the gym with him when it happened, man. It was that weird, COVID nonsense, and he was there, and so I'm glad that things worked out for him, man. Like truly to the core. That's one of my good. Like I love that dude, and his family. They've been loyal. Everybody in this, like I said, in this day and age, they get calls. Can I play here? Can I do this? Transfer this? Do that? But stayed down, and then. I think BG just really showed that you do get those kids that are competitors that
different.
You could trust in. Yeah. You could trust in them where I know I'm not gonna lose this game because you're on the floor with me. And I say that all the time in almost every interview about Brandon and to coaches all the time. It's just like I was so confident as a coach because of him, and I knew the work he put in, the work we put in together, that he was going to make the right plays or give it his every last inch trying to make that right play. And you don't get a lot of kids like that, man. We go great because we screaming and yelling the same thing 15 times all year long, right? So it's like you get a kid, they're like, oh wait, he's listening and applying it and really going for it. You're man, it's such a blessing, and it trickles down because now we got other kids that are just like where they're like, okay, this is how you do it, and there's a level of success that comes with it, because we can be successful. I could think it's successful, maybe our record wasn't great with Vic, but I thought there were successes there. But now for these kids, you put up 27 wins. Oh, okay, this is a measure of success that they could see where they're like, okay, yeah, I can get with that. And I've seen what it took to do that. So I'm going to make sure I stay on that same path.
A lot of dang wins. A lot of W's. Shoot. What kind of role did you play personally, though, in keeping BG like in tune throughout the injury, though? Because, I mean, that's an important stage where it's a kid who's not playing basketball left to play as a head coach. I know the attachment is there, but what kind of things did you do, communicate? How often did you communicate? Try to keep his head in it, man.
I don't know if it was weekly or whatever the case was, but it was always making sure he was involved, and that he knew we wanted him involved. If you could walk and stand, come walk and stand in practice. If your name is on this roster, you're in the gym, guys are practicing. I'm on the side checking on you, rehabbing, whatever the case may be, making sure that you know that you are still a huge part of everything that we're trying to do. His junior year when he came back, we were so eager that he was back, and that's when we played him kind of in a back-to-back game. I think it was a Friday, Monday or something or Wednesday, Friday. And the knee just didn't feel right. But, we played him that first game, and I think he scores 10 off the bench, and our dog, yeah, you ready to start? You back? It's good. Like, let's roll. And it's like, wait a minute, let's figure it out. So that was kind of tough to say, okay, you know what? We're gonna shut this down because the bigger picture is the longevity of it. As much as you're here, you're back, we see that you could do some things on a leg and a half, but we want you all the way back. So having those conversations, and I think he understood that he was going to be elevated to a bigger role, and I think that kept him really encouraged to continue to stay with it. And then he just kind of busted the door, man, and took the reins.
Shout out to you and everybody over there, whoever else had a hand in keeping him healthy and staying right, but also keeping that mind right. As we know, these kids
a
lot, man. Bro, I mean, like I said, now it's like, what's next? You going back to the EG South League now? Now it's gonna get real turned up. Every game's a rivalry. Every game is big sellout. Everybody gonna be jumping. What's some things we're looking forward to this next upcoming season, man? Like I said, you got a lot of returners still. You got a couple seniors though, but you got some returners though. But also, you got some young bucks who've been waiting.
Man,
what's going back to the Delta going to do for you?
It's going to be a challenge, man. For sure, it's going to be a challenge. You hit the nail on the head. I love the aspect of these games are going to be packed now. I can imagine, obviously Sheldon coming down the street to the house. It's going to be a big game. Franklin coming to the house.
Everything, man. It's all home games, y'all.
Yeah, it's going to be a big game. Laguna Creek is traveling with us. That's obviously going to be a big game. So all those games are going to be big games. And each year, obviously, it shifts with different schools being up or down, whatever the case may be. But it's always extra competitive in the Delta because the proximity of all these schools, right? Because and it's a lesson I learned early. As much as you want these kids to hate or get laser focused in that zone of that guy across the way, it's hard to because they done been growing up with friends since 6 years old, and
that's their homie. That's
So I look forward to that challenge. The first time through, I wasn't fully immersed in how that all worked, and it took a while to kind of figure it out. But
So basically, you're saying you're ready now, though. You ready?
Yeah. I
You ready
embrace
to
the
go.
challenge, man. I embrace the challenge of figuring out what makes a kid kind of tick and kind of flip that switch. It wasn't, I don't like that guy, but maybe it can be a neighborhood rivalry, whatever the case may be. We could do that. So I'm super excited about that challenge of the caliber of teams.
Right.
Yes, I think our team is phenomenal going into next season, man. I'm excited about our guard play. We got Ron, two guards that I always think if you return upperclassmen guards, you're one
it's a
level
guard league, except for BG. He a combo. He can work both sides, but it's a guard dominated for sure.
If you return some guards that can do that, I think you're in good shape. And those guys are phenomenal players, man. And like you said, we have some younger guys waiting in the wings, and we had guys that were getting beat up in practice every day, man. And I'm excited for them to show. People. I can't wait till someone says, "Who's that guy and where he come from?" And man, he was just buried last year. But he cared about winning. He put the work in. He got better, and now he's out here showing out. And I think we have a couple of guys that are going to fill that role where people are going to be pleasantly surprised by their uptick in production next season.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. You heard it here first live on 94 Feet with Coach JT with my brother, head coach of the Monterey Trails, the 2024 outright Metro League champions. He's headed back to the Delta League to start his 11th year over at MT, man. Man, bro, you already know what it is. Don't even matter to say nothing but love. Keep it going. Keep it rocking. It's almost time for us to get back in this thing. Hopefully you've enjoyed some downtime. I'll try to step away for a minute. June finna be here, so I know we're gonna be in these hot gyms all summer.
All summer long, man.
Man, I appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir.
We'll tap in with you, man. Hey, again, y'all go check MT out. Let's see what he's gonna do, man. He going back, like I said, the Delta. It's gonna be turned
back to back.
Everywhere he gonna try to go. Hey, 3 times in a row. Can he 3 times in a row? That's tough. Yeah, that's tough. But I'm saying, I think he got the young squad to do it. They're gonna be ready, man. Shout out to all the coaches over there too, man. And them is the homies and the bros. It's good to see y'all doing well. Keep it going. And just keeping the boys engaged though too, man. That's the biggest thing, right? You guys, we all mentors for these young men, but also putting an environment they can be successful. But also we teach them some discipline, some respect stuff in there, but also life lessons, man. As we know, man, as black males, we got an obligation to do, man. We trying to keep these men, these boys around a lot longer. You feel me?
Yes, sir,
so
man.
Appreciate you, bro. Love you, man. Take it easy.
All love.
We out.
All right, man.